Students, today we are going to study the third chapter of your book Beehive, that is The Little Girl, written by Catherine Mansfield. So before beginning, I would like to give a short introduction of this author. The author Catherine Mansfield was a prominent short story writer from New Zealand. She was born in 1888 and died in the year 1923 due to tuberculosis. Her first printed stories appeared in the High School Reporter and the Wellington Girls High School magazine. So this was about the author. Now let's see to the chapter The Little Girl. So as the title says, Little Girl, so this whole story revolves around the story of a little girl who is scared of her father, and she takes him as a monster and is always scared of going in front of him because she had always seen him shouting and yelling, and so she used to stammer whenever she used to face her father. She used to stammer in front of him. So this is the story of the common child. Every child faces the same thing, so we can say that this story echoes in every home. This is the story of a common child, of you, me and everybody. When I was small, I was also scared of my father very much, but then as I grew up, I realized that my father, as he scolded me, or as my parents scolded me when I was too small, it was right on their part. It did not mean that they did not love me, but they were more concerned about me, about my actions. They wanted me to move on to the right path and not to get deflected on the wrong path. But this was not understood by me when I was small. Or I can say you also might be thinking the same way. When your parents scold you for something, you just feel that your parents are not trying to understand you. They are very harsh, they are very strict. But as you grow old and become matured and you'll start understanding the things, you'll come to know that your parents are right and they love you. They have a very soft corner and they love you very much. So this story details about this only. So we are going to read the chapter, and I am going to explain you each and every line of the paragraph. So before beginning, we can see that it starts with two notes. The first is that the narrator says, "Do you feel you know your parents better now than when you were much younger? Perhaps you now understand the reasons for some of their actions that used to upset you earlier." So the narrator says that when we are small, when we are very, very small, we do not know why our parents are being strict to us. But as we grow older, we become mature and we realize that they were being strict with us. And when we realized then we also realize that our parents love us. So even the reader can also relate to this. That means you also can relate to it, this story. You all can also feel that when you were younger, the action your parents did, the strictness that they showed towards you, was for your betterment. And as you grow older and older, you will realize that in the past, whatever acts your parents did were for your betterment, and in fact they really love you. Then further it is said that this story is about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding, will probably find an echo in every home. So as I told you that this is the story of every common child. This story is about, in this chapter, the little girl is the girl named Kezia, who is scared of her father very much. And the narrator says that this story is of every home. This means that all the children will feel the same way, and you all can relate to the feeling of the little girl Kezia. Just like Kezia is full of fear towards her father, and later on she understands his behavior and feels that he was concerned and he loved her. And all the children also have the same feeling towards their parents, and you can relate your story to Kezia's story very well. So now let's begin with the chapter. The chapter begins like this: to the little girl, he was a figure to fear and avoid it. So here the meaning of this phrase, the fear to be feared, means a person to be feared of. So this line says that, and in this line, who is the figure to be feared here? Kezia's father. So he refers to Kezia's father in this line, and the little girl is Kezia. So the opening line of the story is indicating the fear that Kezia has for her father, and she is fearful of her father. She tries to avoid him and she tries to remain away from him. She did not want to confront her father. Further, it is said that every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with goodbye, father. So every morning it was the custom that her father used to visit her in her room. He used to kiss her before going on his work, and for which Kezia used to say bid goodbye to her father in reply to that action. So this line, the action of her father kissing her, shows that her father loves her very much, but Kezia is unable to understand it. Then further, the narrator says every morning, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. So here, glad sense of relief, this phrase means feeling relaxed. Fainter and fainter means to lessen or reduce. So here in these lines, the narrator says that carriages like horse carts were means of main conveyance used in olden days. In olden times, the people, they did not have the cars, they used to move to their workplace in the carriages driven by horses. So here we can make out the fear that Kezia has for her father. The writer says that when Kezia heard her father's carriage was going away from home, and he was leaving home, and the sound became fainter and fainter, it reduced, it became less. That means the sound was now no more to be heard. Kezia would have a sense of relaxation. She used to get very much relaxed, and she would feel relieved that her father had left. Now, why did she feel relieved, you might be thinking? You know that because she feared her father, she was afraid of him, and therefore she was relieved when he left home. Further, in the next line, the narrator says, in the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. So in the evening, when Kezia's father would return home, she would fear his loud voice. He was always shouting when he used to return home from his work, and this loud voice and shouting used to make her afraid of him, and she took her father as a monster instead of a father. Then next line says, bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper is out there, and bring me my slippers. So these were the orders that Kezia's father used to give whenever he used to return home. He used to start ordering all different things. He would order the tea to be served to him and in the drawing room only, and he wanted the newspaper at that very moment, and he would ask his mother to go and fetch it and see if the newspaper was there outside the house, and he would also ask her to get him his slippers also. Then further, the narrator says, Kezia, mother would call her to her. Now, these are the words said by the mother of Kezia. Mother is calling Kezia, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boot. So this happens with everyone. Our mother also, whenever she just wants us to do something, she just state this only, if you are a good girl, if you are a good boy, do this or do that. So in the same manner, Kezia's mother also called out to her and asked her to remove her father's boot, and in order to make her obey, she said that if she was a good girl, then surely she would come, she would obey the orders or the command of her mother. Then further it is said, the narrator says, slowly the girl would slip down the stairs. So she is standing upstairs. She did not have the courage to come down. She is very much scared of her father. More than further, the narrator says, more slowly, still across the hall, and pushed open the drawing room door. So these lines shows that says that, and the narrator says in these lines says that, sir, again we see that Kezia is very much scared of her father, and therefore she would come down the stairs quietly and unwillingly. Though she is not ready to come down, she is not ready to face her father, so she is very slowly coming down the stairs, as she does not want to face her father. And the reason we all know, that she is very much scared of him, she feared him. Then further the narrator says, by that time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Means that now in this line the narrator says that, now just imagine, Kezia's father is sitting in the drawing room on a sofa wearing his spectacles, and he is looking at Kezia over the spectacles, and now the way he looked at her terrified her. She was horrified because maybe it seemed to her that he was staring at her. Then further it says, well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? So now Kezia's father is saying these words. What he is saying? Now here we can see that Kezia was reluctant in her work. She is not willing to do the work to take out the boots of her father. So she was slow in her motion, and also her father, and so her father would tell her to hurry up and remove his boots and keep them out of the room. And then he would ask her if she had been a good girl that day, if she had not bothered anyone in the house, if she had behaved properly. Then further the line says, I don't know, father. So here this shows that Kezia is very much scared, and out of that fear, she is now stammering in front of her father. She is not able to speak properly, as she is very much scared of her father. Now on the second page we see, you don't know. If you slutter like that, mother will take you to a doctor. So here the word slutter means to stammer or to speak with pauses. So the narrator in these lines says that tells us that now Kezia's father is copying her, and he also stammers like she did. He says to her that if she stuttered or if she stammered like that, then her mother would have to take her to the doctor for a checkup. And then further it is said that she never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. Here in this line, the phrase given it up means stop doing it, and trying so hard means making a lot of efforts. So in these lines the narrator is saying that Kezia never stammered while she spoke to other people. It was only when she talked to her father that she lacked confidence, and that is why she tried very hard to speak properly, and she stammered because she could not help it. Then further the narrator says, what's the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. So now these are the words of Kezia's father. What is he saying now? Before beginning or before explanation, I would tell you the meaning of the hard words. The word wretched means unhappy and sad, or you can say sad. On the brink of suicide means about to commit suicide. And you all know what the suicide means. Suicide means to kill oneself. So in these lines the narrator says that now Kezia's father look at her, he feels that something is wrong with her, and she asks her why she is so unhappy, and then he tells the mother that she should teach Kezia to behave in a better way. Who is the mother over here? Here the narrator is talking of the mother of Kezia's father, that is her grandmother. She should not appear as if she was so unhappy and she is about to end her life. So he wants to say that Kezia seems to be so unhappy with her life that she did not want to live any longer. He hands her his teacups. Now father hands Kezia his teacups and asks her to place it back on the table. So here now these lines shows the concern of the father towards his daughter, and now he has understood that she is very much unhappy now, and he is worried about her that she may not commit suicide. Further he says, now the narrator says he was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth, when he yawned. Yawn means jama hi lena. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. So here, this is the feeling, or this is the vision that Kezia has for her father. She feels that her father was so big, he was so huge, he was just like a giant. Now she compares her father with a giant because he is a stout man, he is a strongly built man. And the writer says that Kezia felt that his hand and his neck and his mouth was so huge, especially when he yawned, that it seemed as if he was a huge monster. And whenever Kezia thought about her father, she felt that she was thinking about a giant. Then further, the narrator says, on Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with her father and mother. So now grandmother is trying to bring Kezia close to her parents. She just wants Kezia to understand her parents and her parents to understand Kezia. So for this, every Sunday during the afternoon time, Kezia's grandmother would send her downstairs to the drawing room in order to spend some time with her parents. So Kezia was supposed to behave in a nice and decent way in front of her parents, and they had a formal get together. Then further, but the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched down on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. Snoring means kharate lena, or you can say the sound produced by some people when they are asleep. So here these lines says that these lines show that Kezia felt a bit neglected. Every Sunday afternoon when she went to her parents to meet them in the drawing room and have a nice talk with them, they were busy doing their own things. Her mother was busy reading and her father was busy sleeping and snoring. So Kezia had this image of her parents in her mind. They did not talk with her. They did not spend time with her. On the other hand, they were busy doing their own things. So this happens in most of the families, that the parents, they hardly interact with their children as they are busy in their work, their schedule, the busy schedule. They have a busy schedule and they could hardly spare time to talk to their kids. And this brings a gap, or this creates a gap between the children and the parents. And slowly the children, they just get apart, or they just move apart from their parents, and they always take their parents in a negative way.